Guru Nation, welcome to another, such an exciting episode. Chris Hubbard's yawning. But look, Chris, look how much money is on this table right now, man. Let's cash out. Each book, $47 on Amazon. I hear it's fantastic.
Wait, you hear it's fantastic?
We did. We hear it's fantastic.
But you read it.
I did not read it. Wrote it. Did not read it.
Yes, you did.
No.
No?
Did not read it. Read it as I wrote it.
I read it a number of times when I was editing it.
Thank you so much, man. Means a lot.
Uh-huh.
So, let's guess. Let's play the guessing game. If you can guess today, because we haven't done one together in so long, if you can guess the exact episode,
it's been like 3 weeks.
I'll give you $20.
It's been like 3 weeks.
If you're wrong, you give me one.
3 weeks.
You get 20 for one.
The true odds on that would be like 50 to 1.
Okay, I'll give you $50.
No, I don't want to take your $50.
Who cares? I already owe you a couple steak dinners.
You're gonna owe me and 200.
You're gonna owe me a jersey though.
No, you only owe me one dinner, but $200.
Okay, that's right. So make a guess, man. Come on.
All right.
What episode number are we?
It's been 3 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, let me look to make sure.
And we were like at 270. So 293.
No. We are on episode 306.
What?
306.
Wow.
You are forgetting something, my friend.
Huh.
We had our meetup.
Oh, yeah.
We filmed a bunch of podcasts there you did not even know about. So this was a trick.
So all kinds of podcasts went up.
This is why I was willing to give you so much money. But I would have just got $1. Would have been $1 richer. So, what are we doing besides, having all these books displayed, which we hope everyone goes to buy. If you're listening on the podcast, there's maybe $5,000 worth of books on the table?
Oh, hell no.
$50 each.
There's no 100 books on the table.
Okay, so what do we got? We have what?
There's like
2,500.
There's like 20 books on the table.
Okay, can't do the math, but
$1,000.
$1,000 worth of books. We're doing a contest, so you got to listen to the end or watch till the end to have a chance to win, not to win.
A chance
to have a chance to win. We don't have that many books, guys.
Can't give them away, everybody.
Okay, so what's the topic today? Let's get right into business. Enough monkeying around.
We had a call. Spoke with a gentleman. We shouldn't give his name, right?
No, he was a gentleman.
Yeah, and we asked him for a topic for a podcast today, and he gave us one. We've discussed this before. We've even done a webinar on this.
Which we have a webinar tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know what our webinar tomorrow is? The topic?
You told me, but I don't remember.
I'm giving you an easy way to look good to Guru Nation.
You told me,
but even that up.
I don't remember. You told me, but I don't remember.
So it remains to be a mystery.
How to move up as a CRC? No.
How is part of it?
Yeah. How to be a contract worker, a vendor of sorts.
I'll give you that.
As a CRC.
Of sorts. I give you that of sorts.
Yeah.
Okay, so this gentleman we spoke to wants to open a site.
Yep.
And he asked you a bunch of questions. He's actually a listener and a viewer, so thank you. And then we have other people asking similar things and talking to me about similar things. So we're going to peel the layers back on this onion.
Yeah, but I mean, this is, you get into this business for this reason, right? To make money. Right? If you're going to be a business owner, your ultimate goal is to make money, I would assume. No? Is there any other reason to do it?
Love.
Love of what?
Love of medicine?
Yeah, sure.
So, yes, you're right. You should get into it.
I mean, you can enjoy the work.
Sure. You need to find the intersection of your passion and profitability. PNP. Maybe we'll trademark that one. Came up with it on the spot. PNP.
Yeah.
PP.
PP, that's good.
I like it.
You have to have PP.
Yes, you do. You gotta have a double P.
Yeah.
Okay, passion and profit. So, come on, Chris. Enough joking around here. In 5 minutes, we haven't said anything.
Yeah, it's good.
So anyone still listening, hang in there. We're going to get there.
There's 3 people still listening.
Yeah, so what did this guy ask you? Because you were paying attention more than me.
Well, what you wanted us to discuss primarily was what do you make off an average study?
That's what he asked?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I told him I don't know if we could do 20 minutes on that topic. We've done webinars and all kinds of things on this
Well,
stuff.
we've already spent 5 minutes on no topics.
Yeah.
So this looks good. Looks promising.
So I told him we might go a little deeper than that. And what does it take? What are the steps to start a business as a site?
Okay.
And then what are you looking at making from an average trial?
Okay.
So what do you have to do to start, right? You need a PI. You need a location.
I had a separate guy call me today, and I'm bringing this up because they're related.
Okay.
Separate guy called me this morning. I want to open an SMO.
Did he know what an SMO is?
Yeah, he's a CRA.
Okay.
I want to open an SMO. And I said, well, first thing you got to do is get a PI, a physician.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing you got to do is stop referring to it as SMO. Because sponsors do not like that anymore in a 2020 world. Site network is the new SMO.
Yeah, it means the same thing for the most part.
More or less.
For the most part.
The perception is SMO is negative.
Sure.
Okay, so physician. You can't do anything without a physician. And by the way, if you want to open 50 sites, you still need to start with one physician.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Right? Even if you want to get 50 physicians, you got to start with one.
Mm-hmm.
So get the physician.
Best to work out the kinks with the one physician too.
That's right. So what do you mean by that? Explain.
You start with one site before you start 50 at one time. You can
And
have all
why?
kinds of problems, right? You're going to repeat the same problem you're having at one site as your 50th site. So find out how to do it right at one site, make your errors there, and then you want to expand. In my opinion. Or you can just make a lot of errors. Plus yourself a lot of time and
You can
money.
do anything you'd like in this world.
Yeah.
Okay, so get the physician. That's the first step, right? Then you got to start looking at logistics, like where are you going to do the studies, or not plural, where are you going to do the study?
Mm-hmm.
Because just like you start with one physician, now you need to start with one study. One study leads to two, and so on. But that first study, where are you going to do it? This is your proof of concept.
Yep.
Okay? Is this something you and your PI can actually see yourselves doing for the foreseeable future? And you shouldn't learn this, you shouldn't test this experiment with 50 sites.
Yeah,
is your point.
bad idea.
Test it with one.
Yeah.
Alright? And if you screw up and this PI gets mad at you and wants nothing to do with you, now you haven't done the same thing to 49 other people.
Yeah, and if you have 50 sites, you may not like this, and now what?
Yes.
You're going to shut 50 sites down and compound the money you lost by 50?
And this is a theme from a lot of people that reach out and say, hey, I'm connected with hundreds of physicians across the country. And we always say, that's great, very good. Pick your best one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your best one or two.
Yep.
All right, because it's one thing to say, okay, this is what I can do. This is the ingredients I have. We all, more or less, like humans, have almost unlimited potential in what we can achieve if we actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
Most don't get anywhere near their potential because it's actually hard to do it.
Yeah,
So
takes a lot of work.
potential is one thing, doing it is another thing. What I mean by that is, let's say you want to start a site. Okay, even something as simple as incorporating the business, which we still have to do, by the way, today for a new site. Even something as simple as that, right? Or as simple as making a website for that one site takes time. That's not easy.
Sure.
And that's two negligible things. You don't even take that into consideration when you say I want to open a site.
Mm-hmm.
Or how about setting up an email server for your site?
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to do it for 50 sites.
Yeah. All right. So, but even for one is hard, and these are just negligible things. So I think people they speak in like macro terms without realizing how much work it is micro wise.
And I don't mean this as a negative or bad.
No, we want more people in one open sites.
But I think most people are dreamers, right? I don't mean
We know one.
Sure. And I don't necessarily mean that they'll not follow through, but they're thinking of the ultimate goal. right? This is what I want, the ultimate goal, right? But they don't think of the steps it takes to get there. A lot of times.
Yeah.
I mean, this person, I want 50 sites now. Well, that's not something you want to do immediately.
Now, in fairness to this guy who spoke to us today, very nice gentleman.
Sure.
That was not him. He wanted one site, right?
Right.
And so let's get to his question about profit per studies, because he's thinking on the right track. There's profit per study is not a bad metric. I think a better one would be profit per PI is the best metric. There's a nugget for Guru Nation right there.
Absolutely, but he did want to know what can he expect from an average study. Right,
and it's important to know your profit for each study, profit margins, because every study is going to cost your site something different. So it's important to know which ones to focus on from a business perspective.
Oh yeah, oftentimes we'll have studies, numerous studies, and you're going to dedicate more time to the study you're going to make more money from.
That's right. And profit per PI, once you start getting into the site networks, then you do profit per site, and then if you want to get more granular at each site, profit per PI. And then you can find out which PIs you're actually losing money on, figure out why, fix it or move on, right? So these things are important. So for the typical study, we always give people back of the napkin math. All right? Now we're going to say every study is different. They're all over the place. For the most part, you get a typical phase 2 or 3 study.
The average patient visit payment's about $1,300.
It's about $1,300 per patient visit. You have about 10 to 15 patient visits per study. You get about 10 patients to enroll per study. So that's just over like 180,000, I want to say.
You figure in screen failures, you put in your fees, you're probably 200K
gross revenue per study. Again, if you get a study that sucks, don't complain that you heard here. We're telling you again. Okay.
Some studies pay more.
And some studies pay a lot more.
Yeah, some studies pay less. Some studies pay a lot less. The average, somewhere around that. So, and now, people are going to say, wow, this is great. Like, I should have been doing this a long time ago. 200K is a lot of money for one study. Well, that's if you enroll all 10 and keep all 10 patients, which is a huge if. A huge, both letters capitalized if. Yep.
Because that is not the case for most people. First of all, everybody knows, if you've been listening or watching, or maybe you don't, you're going to hear it first now. All right, patient recruitment is the biggest problem in clinical research. So what makes you think that that's not going to be a problem for you? Everybody thinks that's the case, and that's the reason why it's a problem.
Right.
Right, because no one's actually doing anything to fix it, which we need to be doing more things like this, like getting more research naive PIs or physicians with their own patients, with a healthy patient population, interested in clinical research. Teaching them, all right, the fundamentals, teaching them what their oversight is, what's expected of them, which the short answer is everything, and then what they actually have to do, which the short answer is almost nothing, right? So you may get a study that doesn't pay 200K, you may get a study that pays more. None of that matters if you can't get patients. I had someone ask me yesterday, can I get a podiatrist to be my PI?
Sure.
That's exactly what I said. I said yes, but when the sponsors
your best choice, but
I said yes, sure. The FDA actually doesn't. The FDA does not state any specifics about what kind of physician has to be a PI, or even that you have to be a physician.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you that.
Right? Sure, you can use a podiatrist as your PI. My question to you is, how are you going to enroll patients with hypertension or depression or diabetes from that PI's database? And this is another part of it, how are you going to convince the sponsor at the site selection visit or during the feasibility process that that's a good fit? That it's a good idea to give an Alzheimer's study to a podiatrist.
Yeah. I mean,
especially one that's research naive.
Most likely you're only going to get studies that doctor specializes in, whatever the doctor may be. It doesn't have to be podiatry. whatever they specialize in. So how many of those types of studies are out there available in recruiting PIs? Certainly not a lot in podiatry.
Not a lot. Anyone could go to clinicaltrials.gov right now and check. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you can. Just because you can potentially do this or do something doesn't mean you're gonna make money and be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
The two P's, passion and profitability.
Sure. Now,
how is a podiatrist passionate about Alzheimer's?
I would say it's probably if you have an SMO, right? Which we don't like that word, but
we don't like it.
Just for
strike that out.
Argument's sake here, if you have an SMO
what
or
do they
site,
say in court when they tell
or
the
site
jurors to
network,
forget something?
Okay, site network.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
strike.
Okay.
So you have a site network. I would say it's great to have a podiatrist then, right? Have everything.
Yes.
You don't want to turn down any studies.
Right.
That's great then.
Now, if you have no other choice and you're just starting out and the only thing you found is a podiatrist, you can still get studies. Okay? You just have to answer those two questions for yourself. Okay? Profitability. Where is the patient's going to come from? Doesn't have to come from their database.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is convincing the sponsor that it's a good fit.
That's
so
a lot more
passion.
difficult.
So look, the two P's we were making fun of in the beginning apply to this.
Sure, but
profitability and passion.
Still, it's going to be
PP.
difficult. Still going to be difficult.
Of course, it's still going to be.
You want a
difficult.
hypertension study with a podiatrist? Yeah, okay.
I know people doing that right now.
Sure, we have a psychiatrist that's done similar studies.
We have a psychiatrist PI that's done asthma studies, and guess what?
And
Speaking of PP, profitability,
Mm-hmm.
the first P of the two P equation.
Mm-hmm.
That was our most profitable study to date for this company.
Sure.
All right.
It wasn't a psych study.
So we're not saying it's impossible. We're not telling you this so that you get discouraged. We're telling you this so you know the reality of what you're facing, and you don't let it stop you, but you continue to look for new PIs to add to your database. Even if all you want is one site, you can have one site with 50 PIs, or you can have 50 sites with 50 PIs.
Yep.
Right? It's all about what you want to get out of it, what you're trying to achieve, and have a plan. Have a plan in place.
You know, that's a good question, actually. I have a question for you. What would you prefer? 50 sites with one PI each, or one site with 50 PIs?
50 sites with one PI each.
Yeah.
If I had to do it again, I would do the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what about, like, the big research sites, and that's what they have, right?
Well, you're asking me
10,
what I
20.
would do.
Sure. But what's more practical and which one's going to be more successful?
What's more practical is obviously the big site.
Sure.
The one big site with a bunch of PIs might even be more profitable. Because look, everything is not in a vacuum. So because of this kind of stuff, the videos, the podcast, it makes more sense for us to choose our strategy.
I'm speaking to the audience, not for us.
To the audience. Yeah, so I answered like for me, like currently. If I had to do it again and I like pretend like none of this exists, I would probably still do it the way we're doing it
Mm-hmm.
because it's easier to get started and you're diversifying more. So if an FDA audit happens or if a bigger competitor,
your one site gets shut down, it's not your whole business.
or if a bigger competitor moves close by,
Mm-hmm.
or one PI convinces like the entire organization to follow them instead of me. Like you're leaving too much, I think, on the table. Now we know people that have done very well,
With large
much
sites.
more successful than us doing like one big site.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want. Like if I were trying to build a CRO and reverse engineer back to a sponsor level.
Sure, that's numerous sites you want.
Yes, but it also could work for the big sites. It really just depends. It just depends on.
See, I'm thinking the big site, you're more likely going to be profitable because there's less expense.
Right.
So I think that's the better way to go. I think.
Yeah.
If you set up in the right locations.
Yeah, we've thought of this We've had this philosophical debate many times.
Right.
I think both are good.
Mm.
I think both are good. I think one small site is good too.
Mm-hmm.
I think one medium-sized site is good. I think 3 medium sites and 2 small sites. I think anything is good, whatever
Sure.
you want.
Anything can work.
So the only people that can answer that question are the listeners and the viewers. Like, what do you want to get out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Think of what you're trying to achieve and reverse engineer it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I always like the multiple streams of income, limited liability in
Don't
each
be too
one.
dependent.
Never be too dependent on one. Those are all the themes that I've been preaching
Mm-hmm.
and practicing. But some people say, hey, you've got too much going on at one time and you can't focus, which is
Right.
also true.
Sure.
It's the con of this strategy, but there's pros and cons of both strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you have to know yourself and what you want to achieve is the answer. And I know it's not an answer. It sounds like a cop-out. And that looks like a really good burger.
No. And Julie texted me. She says, this is what they're having for dinner.
Very good.
Something new she made.
So you need to get home and have dinner.
I don't eat dinner anymore.
Ah, okay. Want to tell people about that, or
It's just a type of diet.
very good? Hey, you're looking better, man. Looking slim,
Yeah.
trim.
Lost a few pounds.
I need to go home and run right now too. So is this topic good? Did we cover it? Anything else?
I guess we could finish it off with what do you need to get started? Just make that a real quick summary. Right?
Yeah.
You need a PI.
We have a good website for this too.
Need a location.
theclinicaltrustguru.com. Click on open a clinic.
PI and location. Then you need the starting materials,
PI,
equipment.
location, the bare minimal essentials for an office, which is about $8,000 total, including the waiting room chairs.
Yeah.
A study coordinator. Do you need a study coordinator? If you don't know what you're doing, and we know many people like that.
You know, it depends. It depends on how comfortable you are winging it.
Yes,
right?
learning
So,
on the fly.
yeah. If you're comfortable doing that, you know, take our book. Get our book, right?
Oh.
$50.
Thank you for.
$50. You can learn a lot of the language in this short book. It's how many pages?
Or win the contest.
It's
Win the contest. What's a good
a
contest?
little over
for you?
200 pages. 208 pages, right? 208 pages, you can learn the lingo.
Yeah, go buy it or win the contest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as, and we'll get to the contest, you gotta wait till the end, okay? We're getting there, we promise, okay? Coordinator, to hire a coordinator or not, if you are a research naive site
If it were me, well, okay, and I don't
yeah,
know
if
what
it were you,
and I don't currently know what I know.
yes, I never even asked you this.
Yeah, for me, I would
You'd wing it,
wing it because I'm cheap.
but you'd also say you would wing it because you understand it's not that scary because you can't,
But not knowing what I know now, right? I just
Right.
knew nothing.
but is that possible to make that?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because my first step into this genre was as a coordinator. I didn't know anything at all.
I remember those days.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it can be done. I would have liked to have read this book. That would have been a huge help.
That's right, and that's the shameless plug, but it's also
It's
the
true.
truth.
It is true.
We've had these conversations
Yeah.
together. I said this is why we wrote the book.
Yeah.
We wish we had this when we started. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
When I started and all the staff abandoned and I was left holding the bag, literally holding a bag,
Mm-hmm.
like an empty bag.
It's not good.
No. I wish I would have had something like this. All we
Yeah.
had was like Center Watch, which helped me with nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I looked online for clinical research material, like I wanted to learn. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There's
And what
nothing.
there was probably spoke over your head,
Yes.
right? You need something that's kind
Or
of
was
down.
hidden behind a paywall. Like,
Yeah.
hey, pay $400 for this.
Right.
If you don't want to buy this book, right? $47. Watch the 5-hour video on YouTube for free. Costs you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just 5 hours every time.
Yeah.
So I think I would also not hire a coordinator. If I had to do it again, I probably would hire a coordinator this time who knew what they were doing, and then learn from them, and then
Have them teach you.
have them teach me, and then find like a new site for them to help me build and keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one thing I would do differently.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's the same. You know, I would have kept things the same. So, what's a good giveaway contest? Let's think of what you want people, viewers or listeners, to have to do to win a copy of this $47.99.
You're not putting me on the spot or anything.
Well, I'm putting myself on the spot too.
On the fly, let's come up with some sort of a contest.
A good contest. What do you
on
think?
the fly.
What do you think? Let's make them work.
Make them work.
It's really hard. We got all day.
Is there anything that you're in need of?
Well, a lot, but they're not going to help with that.
Research-wise. Yeah, they potentially could.
No.
Like,
we don't.
No? You sure?
I'm not going down that rabbit hole, man. Trust me. The students is enough.
Okay. So you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you're going. No.
Okay.
We got that covered. Something for them. Something that's going to benefit them, not us.
So are you looking for people who are contemplating starting a site?
Whoever wants this book.
Because if
they're interested in research. That's it. That's all we know.
Interest in research.
Maybe they're already experienced and they want to keep learning.
But there's
maybe they're brand
too
new.
many different avenues.
I know, so we got to find one. So if you want a copy of this book, I got a good one.
Okay.
But it's not going to help them. This helps us. I'm trying to think of one that's going to help them. Okay, if you want a copy of this book, tell me what you are trying. Email me, like a nice letter, all right? Like a couple paragraphs, explaining in the title, in the subject line, so I know what it's about. Put episode 306 contest, all right? Episode 306 contest. Explain to me what you are trying to achieve in research. And then I'll try to respond to people. And the most interesting ones, or the most well thought out ones, or a combination of those two, so it could be one or the other, or a combo, gets a book. Yeah?
Okay.
Sounds good enough?
Yeah.
Helps them, because they might get some feedback.
Sure.
And it helps them put their thought process to paper, which many people don't do, which is not good. If you're thinking of starting something, you should write it down.
Okay.
Write down detail, right?
So I had two thoughts. They were both for people just looking to get into.
And we have all these we could potentially give away.
Sure.
All right. Or we may not give any of them. If all of your guys' stuff is crap and not well thought out, nobody's getting a book.
Yeah.
And if all of them are,
and this
as
is
soon as we run out of what's on this table.
very subjective, so.
Yes, it is subjective. Do you want to help me judge?
No.
You don't. So it is extremely subjective.
Very much so, and completely on you.
I'm honest. I'm an honest dude. So you guys are lucky.
But if we're site owners, and you could do this for some other one.
Yeah, I don't care what it is. Site owner
You
or
have-
employee.
Have them reach out to 10 different doctors and have a conversation about starting a research site.
Yeah.
You could-
This includes that too. What do you want to
Okay.
achieve in research?
Yeah.
Could be anything. What do you want to achieve in research?
No, I was saying actually reach out to 10 doctors.
Oh, well, when they email me, I'm going to tell them what to do.
Okay.
So you can get advice too, like life coaching.
Sure. That's good.
So anything you want to accomplish in research, let me know what in like 5 paragraphs in an email. Subject line, episode 306 contest.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's good and well thought out, I'm going to reply. And then the best ones, or most interesting, or most well thought out ones, will get a book.
Seems fair.
Seems fair. It's helping them, not helping us out.
Sure.
Other than getting the emails, maybe someone sends me an interesting business idea, and then we partner.
That could happen. It's happened.
Yeah, but then you won't get any books, but you'll get all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris Sarver. What an excellent podcast.
Yeah.
We'll catch you all later. Bye bye.